on Michigan's Morning Show with Michael Patrick Shields.
Michael Patrick Shields is on the air.
Good morning, world.
Good morning, Michigan. A very pleasant Wednesday to you. We're going to lead this morning with a very disturbing story, but something that you should know about. Senator Rick Jones is here, the Republican from Grand Ledge. He's the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee and took testimony yesterday on Senate Bills 234, 235, and 236. Sum them up, if you would, in just a couple of seconds. What do those bills do? What was the testimony about yesterday?
It's a package of bills that says if a medical provider commits rape, the legal word is criminal sexual conduct, level 1, 2, or 3, their license can be taken away for life.
This came to your attention because of a particularly grim, really scary case that took place here in the state of Michigan.
Yes, I actually had a victim contact me from Macomb County. She says, you're a former sheriff, I really trust you. And the story she gave me was horrible. Her dentist had drugged her, raped her. He was convicted. The man only served 1 year in jail, and when he got out, the state of Michigan gave him his license back.
This is Donald Quinn in Farmington Hills.
Yes.
Why did he serve only 1 year? That sounds like that would be a stiffer penalty.
Well, she was very, very traumatized by this. There was the drugging, the rape, there was a beating, horrible treatment. And so she told the prosecutor she was having trouble testifying, so he pled it down. And so the man only served 1 year. But she thought, well, at least I'll have justice. He won't be doing this to anybody else. And then she was shocked when the state of Michigan gave his license back.
What did she tell you yesterday in the testimony?
She didn't testify yesterday. She testified a couple of weeks ago. We've had a couple of hearings.
What did she say?
She said that the man drugged me, he raped me, he beat me, he urinated on me, and he filmed it. And still, he got his license back.
I don't know how you account for that. First of all, I don't know how anybody would ever go to that dentist again. But second of all, I mean, if you fly an airplane into a building by accident because you were drinking, they don't put you behind the wheel at the cockpit again. Why would they trust people's well-being, their life in your hands after you could do something so heinous?
Absolutely. And, you know, this isn't the only case. There's other cases throughout Michigan. And so this package of bills would provide that any medical provider, be they a doctor, nurse, chiropractor, any medical provider would be able to lose their license for life.
Permanently.
Permanently.
Dr. Christine Teneglia is with us here in our American Metal Roof studio, my wife. She's a practicing dentist in the Okemos area. What's your reaction to this story, and what do you think?
Well, you know, people come to healthcare providers for our care, skill, and judgment. And, you know, I go out of my way in my office to make sure everybody's really comfortable because it's a very private, uncomfortable moment when you come to the dentist because you are in a position where you're vulnerable. And I think there's really no excuse for this person to have their license reinstated. There's so many, it's just a travesty, I think, and I think the licensing board really missed the boat on this one. I mean, I understand that people commit crimes and they pay their dues, but when they're in a position for people's well-being, there is no way that they should be put in the position to be in front of people again and use their judgment, because obviously their judgment is flawed. And that's really important. And the one thing I think this bill is great is that I want to make sure we challenge our legislature that there's no pork that goes into this. If the bill is straight as it is and says, you know, this is just about healthcare providers, because how could anybody in the legislature not vote for something like this?
Yes.
Well, there will be people who will say not all the cases are as black and white as yours, where the guy actually videotaped himself doing this. I mean, it's hideous, but there will be cases that are in dispute sometimes, right, that aren't as black and white.
No, because this is only upon conviction. So if somebody makes an accusation, that won't affect it.
Conviction only. Does that include, like, obviously this was plea bargained because he served only a year. That counts as a conviction?
It was plea bargain to criminal sexual conduct 2, which is still a heinous crime.
What will be the stealthiest argument against your bill?
Well, initially we had the American Civil Liberties Union come in and objected because it was written that if you had ever committed a crime in your life, that you wouldn't get your license. And we did amend it to if you commit the crime after you receive your license. The reasoning for that was they said you could have a Romeo and Juliet type situation, and somebody in their youth, boy 17, girl 15, under our law, even if that's consensual, that is illegal.
But once you've gone through the training, once you've got the license, you've made there's an oath, isn't there, that you give as a doctor or a dentist?
Absolutely, there is a Hippocratic oath that we, take patients' best interests in mind, and we make good judgment based on the information that we have in front of us of their situation.
That woman will never be the same. It must have been evident in the testimony.
It was very evident. She actually had to come to the committee with her psychiatrist. She's still under treatment, and it's been several years.
It's disgusting even to think of it, to hear the details, and there must have been more than we know. I mean, for him to get that sort of a deal and to have the state say, sure, we'll get you back. I know when he got his license back, I'm told there were some stipulations also. Did you know about that?
Yes, I did hear that there were some stipulations that he had to be, he couldn't practice alone, and that he had to practice under the supervision of someone. But still, I don't think that's enough. I mean, he shouldn't be allowed to practice in any situation because you're just taking people's well-being at risk, and that's not right.
I can't imagine it. I really can't imagine going in. It's hard enough to go to the dentist in the first place, right?
Absolutely. And I'm your wife, and you still have a hard time coming to
I
see
know.
me.
So you sure this isn't going to hurt? No, not at all. Hold still. But anyway, so is there a fast track? What's the schedule now? What happens next?
Well, it's been through the Senate, over to the House, back to the Senate for some tweaking. It should be on the Senate floor soon, and we hope soon on the governor's desk, and I'm sure that he will sign it.
Sure of it. Now, I see some motorcycles lining up out front here today. They're going to be bikes in the Capitol, guys or girls, I guess, without their helmets riding around. Where did you stand on the helmet law? You were in law enforcement?
Yes. I really think I've seen thousands of accidents over the 31 years I served with the Eaton County Sheriff's Office. I don't think the helmet helps you above 35 miles an hour. There's no saying it keeps you pretty for the funeral. So I would vote that somebody 21 or older with the proper training could ride their motorcycle without a helmet.
Apparently, there is support from the Secretary of State, the governor, the lieutenant governor, even the attorney general to revoke the helmet law.
That's my understanding, yes.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. They're going to give us a little bit of a demonstration today in civil disobedience right here on Fox 47 and on the radio as well. And Amanda Wall, our producer, who's never been on a bike before, is going to break the law right out here on television. So that's coming up next. Congressman Mike Rogers will be with us, too. Thank you very much, Senator Jones.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it. And Dr. Christine Teneglia, a dentist to the stars in Okemos. Busy day today at the office?
Yes, sir, absolutely. We're making everyone shine.
Everybody wants a summer smile for sure, like all the movie stars. It's 15 minutes after the hour. It's Michael Patrick Shields. We're back in a flash on Michigan's Morning Show.